his name Roy.
Roy.
He just got his black belt like last week, but he comes on Sundays. He's a Filipino kid.
Filipino kid.
Yeah, he's friends with Angelique. I think
And Jeanette?
And Jeanette, yes.
And Jeanette, I think we got his black belt maybe from
Street sports, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
that's
So I
cool.
was talking with him, and I said, "Look, man." I said, we rolled after the roll, and I said, maybe ask your professor if you can teach a little bit, because the black belt is a milestone, but the teaching makes you a better black belt. The details, the teaching, the details, the looking at, analyzing how your students roll, and how you roll, and that will give you some next steps. So at this point, we've been around black belt for a while now, and I look at jiu-jitsu completely different than I did when I was, younger or lower belt. So it's you're learning every day. I learn from new people. I look at, I like diversity in the sense of how I learn. So, I watch. I know that you guys used to make fun of me and call me a DVD man or whatever, right?
No, you would pirate the DVDs and you try to sell the pirated DVDs like a joke, right? With the guys, but
DVDinho. I became DVDinho. Remember, Chris? I think
Chris Bernasabani.
Yeah, he sent me a picture of me behind the.
Yeah, a bunch of DVDs. And those days, it wasn't that long ago, but it was, right?
Yeah. So, but here's the thing: you cannot just come and train and that's it, and then you go home and then you come back and you train, and your growth is like limited. So you have to use a DVD or an instructional, right? You have to find somebody that you're interested in learning that's kind of your body type, in my opinion. You have to read, and then what I tell everybody, look, and here's like my agenda, right? It's right there. You got to write everything down. So if you're working on the guard, what do you have from the guard, right? So it becomes like this educational, reciprocal teaching in your brain where you're like developing all these things. So that's what allowed me to grow so much, is that I didn't just train. I read, I wrote, and I watched and asked questions. And that kind of like builds your game. And so I think when you become a teacher, you get to do all that.
Yeah, you have to explain it right and you have to be able to dissect it and give it to somebody else, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they understand it.
Yeah, so that's how I look at jiu-jitsu now. Yeah, it's a little different than it was before, but I think it's better. Yeah.
What you got? What's all this written down on the notepad?
So every day that I wake up, sometimes I dream about what I have to write down the next day, but I write down a list, like an agenda of what I want to get done for the day. And like here, by the way, one of them was my BJJ lesson plan, right? Like what I want to work on. But I'll write everything down, and then I start to cross out as I go. And it allows me to organize my thoughts, myself, whether it's work, whatever I need to get done. It allows me to organize myself in a certain way where I don't forget what the important things are.